Welcome back to the third video in the new 1.22.0 Pre.1 update. And this is proving to be really interesting for me. I picked up that we have a new rock type called Travertine, and I thought we would have a look at it. So let's just put some of this down. Now, the basic rock is going to look like that. Wow, that is a close match for ball cypress. This is right in my colour scale. So we've got, let's have a look at the different things we can do. That is the travertine tile, okay. We've got aged travertine. I am going to love this block. This is really beautiful. Cracked travertine, oh my word. And then we've got flint in travertine, ashlar blocks, and that is the stone block. So if we have a look at that, I've left off the half slab, that's okay. Look at this, isn't this a beautiful colour? And I tell you, this is combination with bald cypress, and I'm thrilled. But I wonder how we can use it, because I had a look, I had to look up travertine. I had never ever heard of travertine before, and one of my first thoughts was that it was some sort of made up stone as a homage to Travis Kelce, who's Taylor Swift's boyfriend. But it's not, it's actually real. And I should have trusted Vintage Story, because I have learnt so much through this. My background is literary arts. I know lots and lots about the literary world, poetry in particular, music, things like that. But I've never ever been a geologist. So I had to look it up. And it's absolutely fascinating, because it says it's a form of freshwater limestone. So my first thought was, well, if it's a form of limestone, are we going to be able to use travertine in making leather? So I need to check that in a minute. And it says that it's deposited around mineral springs, especially hot springs. Now, I don't think I've got any hot springs on my map yet, but it should be fabulous. And it says it often takes a fibrous or concentric appearance and exists in white, tan, cream coloured and rusty varieties. And it's really fascinating. It says it can form stalactites, stalagmites and speleotherms. And in fact, if you look at the menu we have in Creative, and we look at travertine, can you see here? Oh, look at that, travertine snow in a snowball. Wow, that'll hurt. That's a tile, but look at this, speleotherm, yay. So we have speleotherms in the game already. Fantastic. I'm learning words I never knew about. So, it's frequently used in Italy and elsewhere as a building material, which makes sense if it's around hot springs and hot climates. It says it's similar, but softer and extremely porous deposits formed from ambient temperature water are known as tufa. Is that tufa? Sorry, tufa, T-U-F-A. So it's fabulous. And something that I hadn't really paid much attention to is now going to be one of my favourite rock forms to look at. The other thing is, it says it's a very dense rock. And I think this stuff is just fabulous. I really do. I'm very keen on this. I think as a building material, for me, you know, who loves all the, you know, light colours and the, oh wonderful, that's gone wrong already, and the prettiness of different rocks, I think this is going to be splendid. So if we have a look at it, yeah, I mean, this is going to be so nice, isn't it? Oh my gosh, it almost has a sort of marble quality to it. Let's see some of these other bricks. Oh, I am liking that. Wow. I can see this being used a lot in building. Right, let me pop this lot away. Just saving all my blocks for later. And then my thought was, well, let me have a look at the map. And I tell you guys, I am so tempted to play this map. What have we got over here? Islands. I don't have any hot springs. And I know that I'm on limestone. I'm not on travertine. So I'm thinking it might be found around hot springs. It may be that the devs are concentrating a little bit more on the hot springs areas because they're such a gorgeous feature. Now let's have a quick look in leather. Crafting mechanic, okay. Require a barrel, raw hides. Now, barrel of lime water or diluted borax. Yeah, it doesn't say you can use travertine there, so let's have a look at H under travertine. We've got flint in travertine, we've got all those, that's fine. Yeah, it does not say that it can be used. Let's have a look. Can it be used in the preparation of leather? Plum and square, snowballs, and it can be placed onto display containers. Okay. So I think that's one. This is a beautiful, beautiful addition, and I am absolutely loving it. And two, can it be used in leather making? And three, where will it spawn? Will it be linked to hot springs? As well as a new rock, we have a new ceramic colour. Can you see here we've got the normal colours, the far clay, black, brown, cream, and look at this earthy orange. Now I don't know how we get this colour. Let's have a look at it. We've got earthy orange, that's the colour. And there's one here, brown, orange, earthy orange, that's the planter. I'm just getting out a few of things, then we can see what this colour looks like. I mean, I've seen it in a picture. It's nothing like looking at it for yourself. Now we have let's just have a look at some of the items. Okay. And looking at this, I'm trying to look at this in the daylight. Well, when I briefly looked at it in the update notes, I thought that the colour was rather unfortunate. It looks like poop. And I can't help but, you know, think it really, really does. I don't know how we get to this colour, whether there's something, you know, because at the moment you go to the different ceramic colours and tiles by how many doors, oven doors you have open in your kiln, your beehive kiln. But how you get to this colour, I don't know. All right, let's put it this way. To me, this is paradise. This is unfortunate to put it mildly. I shouldn't say that. But, you know, just sometimes. Some things you like, some things you don't. But for those who like browns, excellent. Right, next topic. Another new block we've got is aged acacia. Now, I think this is something that we will be finding as opposed to crafting. It's like the other things you find in ruins. What I do like is it's a beautiful colour. Yeah, we've got two blocks, I am right. We've got the double-sided bookshelf and the aged acacia planks. So if we have a look at these as new blocks, let's just pop them over here. Okay, so the aged acacia, now that in comparison to the normal aged blocks, which are now being called the sort of dark greeny browny grey ones, are going to be called very aged, and these are just going to be called aged acacia. That's a really lovely colour. I can use that colour. I can use that in builds, I really can. Whereas there's a lot of things I can't use. The aged blocks often don't go with what I'm building, but this is a very, very nice colour. And strangely enough, can you see it's got this orangey brown striation down here? That matches that. Oh, right. Oh. It does actually go together. Let's pop this in this vessel here and get rid of it. But as well as this, we have scroll racks. So if I look up aged, we're supposed to have scroll racks in it. Aged acacia. This is now called very aged, but we've got the aged acacia scroll racks. Yeah, these are normal ones. Oh, that's acacia. No. I want the aged acacia. Ebony, walnut. I know we've got it. It's not here in the creative menu yet. But they have said that we've got it. We're going to have aged bookshelves, which we know we've got. But we are going to have fences and scroll racks as well. And let's just compare the colour, not the other acacia. But that is the very aged. Can you see very aged now? Excellent. Okay. We have some new leather decor, and we can now make these sheets of stitch leather. So apparently you just put it in a crafting grid and you get a sheet of stitch leather. Well, let's have a look. Looking here, now we know that that fits on the elk, we've already seen that. Let's have a look at this. That's a sheet of stitch leather. I'm going to take some blue leather to see whether that will also craft. Oh, I want the leather itself. There we go. Right, let's see if this works. Okay, let me come out of creative. Okay, let's check this. Okay, so if we put this in here, oh, it does. Does it work with coloured leathers? That's the point. It does not. Come on, devs. We want the coloured leathers. So let's have a look at this then. So if we put it on the floor, let's pop it over here. This looks like something that should go under a tree, doesn't it? Does it look like here? Oh, look at that. That looks nice. Now my question is, can I put something on top of it? So if I have a bowl, can I put it on top of it? I can. So it is level with the floor. That's fantastic. So we can just, you know, move that around quite happily. Put that back in there. I don't suppose I can put blue leather on the floor, can I? I can. Yeah, you can see how this is perfect for a floor covering. I want the coloured leather floor coverings. We could do couches and chairs and stuff like that. Can you imagine a seat? Oh, can we use it in that way? I hadn't even thought of that. Right, let me grab some planks. Hold on a minute. Okay, let me see. Now, a stool, as I believe, is like this with cloth. No. Okay, let me just check the handbook. It'll be chair, not stool. Chair, right. Here we go. Yeah, it's cloth. So it doesn't, although it says it's a cloth, we can't yet make stools out of it. Okay? Good to know. Now, we know that we're going to be able to put fish on these mounts. What I'm wondering, and they've said we can put weapons on these mounts. A long-standing hope of mine has been to be able to mount... Oh wow. Mount our swords. It's sideways. I love the idea, but I want it vertical. Can I turn it vertical with a wrench? Let me find out. Right, I have a wrench. Let's put this sword back. Shift and place. Okay. Can I do control and place? Does that? No. Okay, let's put it on. And let's try to... I want it to go vertically. What does the falx look like? Yeah, it mounts them. I don't want my swords like that. I want them vertically. How can I move them to vertical? I do not know. Let's try F. No. Okay, well, the plus is we can put our beautiful fancy weapons on our shields. The minus is that they go horizontally and not vertically. Okay, but it's still brilliant to be able to put, you know, when you find these really fancy weapons, it's nice to have one on that and not the old, you know, sticks weapon holder. I would like to mention a couple of things, and that is that when I did my little feature on fishing over there, I told you that the fish can no longer be killed with a melee, in a melee, like I tend to walk up to them and bang them with a sword and they die. They go away too quickly now. But one of you very, very cleverly said, what about spears? Can you still go spearfishing? Now, I'm not seeing any fish at all here, and I'm not going to waste hours looking for them, but we do need to find out whether spearfishing is still a thing. I suspect it is, because spearfishing is something that you would do naturally. A lot of primitive societies go spearfishing. So it doesn't say you can't. spearfish any longer. So let's see if that's possible at a later date. And the other thing that one of you said was that all the new mushrooms create the most ghastly effects. Many of them are hallucinogenic. One says it sickens you. So I do feel that we've been given some really seriously mind-altering abilities. I'm not going to try them all because the last one I tried, the Blue Meanie, I love the effects, but the length of time they lasted was absolutely horrific. So it took me a long time to get out of the effects. One of the new features is that if you put a backpack on the ground, you should be able to open it, and you can see from the instructions, control and right click opens it. Oh, isn't that fantastic? That's a really good addition. I think a lot of us are going to be very happy with that one. Now we have new lanterns and they look beautiful. Look at this. This is our old lantern form, the great big square one. And look at this neat little thing. Isn't that pretty? Bismuth with quartz. And let's have a look. We've got it all the different lantern colours. So obviously a large copper lantern with the small one. I just wanted the two together to sort of show you the difference. Now, okay, let's try this again. No, not there. Put a silver plate there. A candle there. Nope. Right. Quartz. And a copper plate. That's not working either. Oh gosh. Alright. Taxidermy. I'm going to start with a taxidermied bicoloured anglefish because why not? So first of all we have diluted borax plus our dead fish, 18 hours in a barrel, and then we have a litre of zinc sulfate. Now this is made by making sulfuric acid, which is water, saltpeter, powdered sulfur. All of that is easily accessible. So you need, looks like 2 litres of sulfuric acid, crushed sphalerite, and that makes you 1 litre of zinc sulfate. Let's go back to this. So if you want to taxidermy a pufferfish, first of all you have to soak it in diluted borax, and then you presumably put it with a litre of the zinc sulfate for 12 hours. Wow. Okay. Let's have a look. I'm not going to go through that process. Whether it works or not, I don't know, but I think it is worth saying that there is nothing there. There are no ingredients there that we can't get, not easily, but we can get them. There's nothing there that is exceptionally difficult to find. Right, let us assume that the process works, because spending days doing this is not ideal. And let's have a look at a couple of these fish. I've got, oh my word, that's a taxidermied blue catfish. And look, we have the same thing. Ah, I am beginning to understand. Oh, doesn't that look fabulous? Taxidermy is going to become one of my things, I can see. But I can actually understand why. Let's just, can I get that off? Yeah. I can understand why people would want to taxidermy fish, because they're really beautiful. But I think the other thing is that where we've got these fish, if you can see this big fish, this goes sideways. And I have a funny feeling that because they were working on the fish mounts so that these can go sideways, that somebody thought, well, why not do tools as well? So everything gets mounted sideways, because you certainly wouldn't want a vertical fish. Wow, this looks fantastic. I mean, for people like me who like collecting, I think the fishing mechanism anyway, and the fact that we can taxidermy them and mount them on the wall, is going to be fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. The other thing is, I had thought that I would build a fishing shack, as I used to do in Minecraft, where you just fish in one place endlessly. But of course, I think the developers here have had a good sort of thought about that, and I think they have decided that we have to be environmentally friendly and that you can fish out areas. So building a stable fishing shack, as I was going to, and lining it with this is not going to be an option. But given the number of fish, wow, this is going to be extreme. It really is. Corridors of fish. Oh my goodness. I'm loving it. I think it's a brilliant addition to the game. Well, my friends, that's the end of this episode. I've certainly learnt a huge amount, and I hope you have too. I am very, very enthusiastic about most of these changes, and I'm just going to look at oil lamps tomorrow. I'm quite interested in how that's developing, and if I've got time, I will probably add some more items as well. There's an awful lot that we have in this update. It is massive. So leave a like, perhaps subscribe to me, and I hope I see you tomorrow where we look at oil lamps. Bye bye, my friends.